and I want to bring the Why Not GoPro audience in, or whoever really gives a crap, bring them into the process to be able to say, oh, okay, what fixtures could I use here? What would you add? So from a design standpoint, this is the overall layout. This right here is O'Connor Road. There's a Circle K sitting right here. This is Durham, which is a dead-end street. This right here is Stall Road.
Right. Yeah.
You'll be able to have access coming in here. You can see these different access points. So the overall feeling of the building is going to be what I like. It's going to be a reflection of me. If I was going to build a school, this is what it would look like. If I was going to build a place I want to hang out with while my son plays AAU basketball or my daughter plays basketball, this is what it would be like. It's going to have my 2 cars in it, the Porsche 911 GT3 and it's going to have the GT4 RS is sitting up on lifts. So you can kind of see those featured here. It's going to have garage doors that kind of look like this. Right? There's Bluebird Market up in Colorado where we had our Keystone house. I've always kind of loved this market. It's basically a warehouse. The inside of it is essentially this. Where it's just going to be polished concrete. It's going to have this same metal, and it's going to be very simple. I'm going to probably name this main corridor here the junkyard or something like that. I grew up in a junkyard, so it's kind of like a reflection of that. It's going to have the cars, it's going to have the 80s style games and the dining all mixed together. It's not going to be as compartmentalized. The pizza shop will be here. And then the general aesthetic, because I'm going to say things like it feels like this. And that's because those things are actually too much money. And that's really like some of this high level design. I want to be able to incorporate different parts of that in. And you can kind of create feelings without spending the crazy money. You know, you buy a nice light fixture, but it just kind of amplifies the whole space without really needing to. And then if you have a blank space like that, I'm really letting the cars and the color of the video games kind of pop and come through. So starting outside, brick halfway up or maybe a little bit more than halfway. And then again, it's just a metal building, but it's going to be this dark gray.
That looks cool.
And it will kind of look modern, but it's still a warehouse. I'm calling it what it is. Like it's still industrial, not overly sophisticated, but still clean. This is going to be a feel like, because probably this stuff's really expensive, but if you think of this and replace of these, it's going to be those garage doors, right? Instead of this nice iron thing, it's going to be the regular metal one, but I'm going to put the junkyard up above it, right? So above the front doors, this is kind of what I want, is that warehouse thing, above the front doors. So it's going to feel like that with the red brick, and then the red brick is also going to tie and carry on and theme throughout the inside. For instance, it's going to kind of feel like this from a space standpoint. So I said doors like those, floors like that, and it's densified polished concrete. That's all it is. And the color is concrete. It's however it pours, you come through and you polish it, and that's it. You put some score marks on it. It's relatively raw. And this is that Bluebird Market in Colorado. So again, these same themes right here carry through. They're just done up a little bit with some under cabinet lighting. So those are things I like, is be able to kind of turn it up a little bit without going crazy expense, right? With lighting and with some different features. So this sign up here, I like that. That's cool. Like it's not overly done. It's not super expensive to do. And you can kind of indicate these different spaces as we start to move through to the swag shop and to the different things. This is kind of like the idea, right? So it has the red brick in the background. It just has some old school games. So I was born in '82, and this, I want it to be a reflection of other 40-year-olds. So that's the point of bringing people in, is things that you remember as a kid, what this place is going to look and feel like. The bar, I see it something more along these type of lines again, where it's not, none of this is really that expensive to build. You could build this out of cinder block, but this is probably too rough. But I like the idea of like the chalkboard. That's how I picture the pinball courts, pinball machines, and having like graffiti art on it that I could see even being glow in the dark, something like that, where there's features that are color and you can see, but there's also features that would have glow in the dark type paint. And maybe instead of doing Mickey Mouse, because there's a licensing thing, I could do like versions of different Nikes with different colors up there. Yeah. It's going to have a barber shop, the awesome. Pizza shop. Nice. Dana, my wife's going to run the pizza shop. Yeah. Here's like an indoor pizza sign. So above the pizza shop, again, that's following in the same theme of what it was like on the outside is also carried over inside. Yep. Again, relatively simple. Again, this is going to have this beer garden over here. We're going to have a swag shop over here, which is going to sell Jordans and that kind of stuff. But it's also going to serve as the students' art room. I like the idea of just having these basic little string lights hanging up in this main area. And you'll see that in that video I started to show you that really just kind of strung back and forth here with string lights. Relatively inexpensive, but it sets kind of a mood or a tone for it. So I kind of see that as a darker feel for downstairs. But then upstairs, everything upstairs, the same polished concrete, but it's gonna be lighter. So this is too expensive, but it's gonna feel like that. So it's gonna have the polished concrete, lighter color birch wood, which I can source and get. I'll bring it in like a shipping container of birch wood, and I'll build all of this crap. Like I'll just have it all built. And for all of these little student offices upstairs, so for instance, this is upstairs. These are all going to be student offices along here, but they're all going to be open, and they're all just going to be built out of this light birch wood, lighter color walls, but it's still an industrial urban
you still
feel,
get that feeling
right?
From that.
And then the center area, this isn't going to be like individual desks. This is going to still feel more like this. So it's going to feel more like a workplace, like a grown-up office. That's what it's going to feel more like. Because over here, I'm going to have individual workspaces. So it will be, maybe it will end up being the individual offices like that. Maybe there'll be a little bit bigger, nicer versions of cubicles. But there will be a common conference center, that's going to kind of look and feel like this. There's things I don't know what I want it to look like, and I want to bring the WhyNotGoPro audience in, or whoever really gives a crap, to make, really it's like two family friends that watch this stuff. So bring them into the process to be able to say, oh, okay, what fixtures could I use here? What would you add? It's still my idea, right? It's the things that are inside my head, but all of the details, I don't really know. I don't know what color to use. I don't know what brick to use. I don't know what things that people have seen where they have pickleball courts. They have these arcade 80s style games. People have been to this stuff. Oh, the thing that I have at mine is this, or the thing that I have at that is this is really cool, or this is a neat feature. Things that people would want or be engaged with, even down to which games I have, and then say, hey, put it into the comments below what features you want, and so it could create this dialogue and give me extra ideas.
Oh, exactly.
I don't know
you can
exactly what to do.
Take a look at their feedback and just kind of play with it.
Right.